Three elderly brothers, 96, 94, and 92, still live together in their old family home. One evening, the 96-year-old decides to take a bath. He puts one foot in the tub, freezes, and yells, "Hey, was I getting in or getting out?" The 94-year-old shouts back, "No idea. I'll come check." But halfway up the stairs, he stops and hollers, "Wait, was I going up or coming down?" Meanwhile, the youngest brother, 92, sits in the kitchen, sipping his coffee and shaking his head. "Man, I hope I never get that forgetful," he mutters, knocking on the table for good luck. Then he stands up, walks to the door, and says, "I'll be right there just as soon as I see who's knocking." Little Johnny was lying in bed one night when he heard his mother moaning from the next room. Curious and worried, he got up to see what was wrong. Peeking through the door, he saw his mother lying on her bed, unclothed, rubbing herself and whispering, "I need a man. I need a man." Over and over, a few nights later, he heard her again, but this time, the moaning sounded different. He tiptoed to her room and peeked inside once more. This time, there was a man with her. Startled, Johnny rushed back to his room, tossed off his clothes, jumped onto his bed, and began rubbing himself, saying, "I need a bike. I need a bike." A golfer sliced his shot and watched the ball land in someone's yard. As he walked over to retrieve it, the homeowner yelled, "Hey, can't you read the sign? Private property, stay out." The golfer raised his hands apologetically and said, "Sorry, I didn't see the sign. That's my ball over there. Mind if I grab it?" The man snapped, "No way. It's in my yard now, so it's mine." The golfer paused, thought for a moment, then walked back to his cart, grabbed another ball, and tossed it into the yard. The homeowner frowned. "What did you do that for?" The golfer grinned and said, "Well, I'm a gentleman, and I think every man deserves 2 balls. Two hunters from Moscow charter a small plane to fly them deep into Siberia for a bear hunting trip. As they land, the pilot warns them, "Remember, this plane can only take off with 2 hunters, 1 pilot and 1 bear. No more." The hunters nod and head out. A few days later, they return, dragging 2 massive bears behind them. The pilot shakes his head. "I told you, only 1 bear." One of the hunters replies, "Last year you let us take 2 bears after we paid an extra 100 rubles. The pilot sighs, grumbles about inflation, and after a long argument, agrees, this time for 200 rubles. With a lot of pushing and grunting, they load everything up and somehow the plane manages to take off. Barely. After about 2 hours of shaky flight, the engines give out and the plane crashes into a snowbank. Covered in snow and fur, one hunter groans and asks, "Where do you think we are?" The pilot dusts himself off, looks around and mutters, "Looks like about the same place we crashed last year."